Guys, welcome back to GT4 Rumble. We're back on a Monday night after a short 1 week break. Back for round 5 tonight from Algarve circuit. Boys are actually down getting into their qualifying session right now, so might head down on track and see who's setting the world on fire. Slightly different format tonight, so guys will be keen to set some good qualifying times. We're actually going to run 3 sprint races tonight. Waiting for some times to come in. We'll jump down on track and see if we can find a couple of the drivers. This is Glenn Boyd, who's currently the quickest in Group A at the moment. At a 151.5. Cam Edwards is quickest, 152.2 in Group B, and Dave Gogol with a 153.8 currently leads the Group C boys. Got 3 laps of qualifying, solo for 10 minutes. Get the job done. We're just about halfway through the qualifying session now as we approach the 5-minute mark. A reasonable sized field tonight. And about 32 cars out there. Be some good racing. As I said, we've got 3 20-minute sprint races tonight. No Damo, no Moz. So Loshi will be sitting in the race director's chair for this round. Said we're expecting some really good racing and hopefully not too many incidents. Yeah, have a look. This is Ben Singer. The McLaren. Then one Group B. Actually, Ben and David Milne took out the win in our random teams event last Monday night at Daytona. So congratulations to both boys. Managed to grab a win. So some iRacing credits. So well done to both Milne and Ben. Meanwhile, Henry Fenson's gone to the top now in Group A with a 151.1. Cam Edwards is 151.7, so there's not a lot of difference. Around a half a second between the two groups. Then Phil Paradiso has now jumped to the top Group C with a 153.2. Like Trent Aves has joined us tonight. Trent's been crook of late, so he's made it tonight. Sure, there's plenty of boys out there will give Jack a run for his money. Neville Mel's back. Matt Petrusek is back in the Merc. Aloshi in the Porsche. Of course, Jack's old man Glenn loves to sneak a win every now and then, so he'll be looking to try and get one off of young Jack. In Group B, we've got Darren Linus. Matt Tesorero's been doing really well in the BMW this season. Currently up in 3rd in his the qualifying. Like Ben's completed his laps. Meanwhile, this is Keithy Logan, the other McLarens. Keithy's currently down in 9th in Group A. Sure what Jack Boyd Always expect Jack to be up near the top. He's oh, there we go. He's just jumped into third spot. You boys still out on track, so it looks like most of them are finished. In fact, so we might. We got a couple of minutes to go, so might get ourselves organised and ready for race one shortly. All right, the boys are just gridding up. That's why we.
Afternoon, boys and girls. Tonight's 3 races, 20 minutes long. You don't need to take tyres, but you will not make it on fuel. So it's up to you how you play it. Just watch.
Apologies for that. It's actually the voice of a very crook Ant Connors, who is currently giving the drivers a briefing. All right, boys, lined up. We're be underway shortly. Put out some cameras. Waiting on the rest of the boys. The lights are on, so they're all gridded up. Looks like Glenn's got the good jump off the line. Henry slots in behind. Oh, got a big lose at the back of the field. I'm not sure what happened there. But didn't look good. That's actually Cam Edwards. Not sure what happened there. Let's go back and see if we can. Oh, he sort of moved and then he didn't. Oh, that reminds me of a supercars race years back. Not sure why Cam didn't get away, but certainly cost him big time. Meanwhile, back up the front, it's Glenn Boyd still in front at half a second over Henry Fenson. Loshi slots into third. Oh, no, Loshi looks like it's all happening. What's happened to Loshi? lost everything at the moment. All right, well, Henry's now leading. Loshi is second. Matt. So Glenn Boyd has done the Glenn Boyd thing. When you live in Adelaide, you're at the mercy of the NBN, and it would appear that Glenn has temporarily disappeared, which has allowed Henry to get through. Meanwhile, we've got another crasher further back in the back. This is Ben Singer. So what's happened to Ben? That's Lee Harrison that's taken Ben out. Never good to see this sort of thing, but never mind. It's all a bit chaotic at the moment. Henry still leads from Glenn Boyd. Loshi is now third. Jack Boyd is into fourth. Matt Petrusik is fifth. Neville Mel up to sixth. Meanwhile, Paul Pittam currently leads Group B from Matt Tesserero, and Matt McMillan up into third. Teammate Chris Blanchard just behind him, then Darren Linus in fifth. And down in Group C, Phil Paradiso over Dave Goggle, John Thorne, Michael Power and Lucas Baker. Jump back and have a look at the Group B, boys. This is Matt Tesserero. He's got Paul Pittam just up the road from him. Matt McMillan tucked in behind. Paul Pittam's currently got about a 2.5 second lead. Well, back up the front, Henry's out to about a second now over Glenn Boyd, with Loshi still in third, Jack Boyd still in fourth. Jump on board with Henry. Just able to maintain that gap of around about a second back to Glenn. The boys will need to pit during this race. Jack Boyd now has jumped up in front of Loshi. Few of the boys have pitted early, it would appear. Oh, Jack has done the disappearing act as well. Hopefully he'll be back on track very shortly. Meanwhile, down in Group C, where is this is on board with Phil Paradiso, our Group C leader at the moment. Jack Boyd's now come back after his disappearing act. Still currently in third. Looks like quite a few of the boys have pitted early, so this field will settle down once everybody's pitted. Most of the cars have got around about 6 laps of fuel tonight, so they may try and stretch it out to lap 5, maybe lap 6 before they hit. 10-lap race, so none of the cars will make it on 1 tank of fuel. Cam Edwards is having internet issues. That was the reason for the shunt there on the start line. Unlucky because Cam had qualified really well. So I'll go back and find Keithy Logan, currently 9th in Group A. He has pitted though. Done his pit stop already, so he should gain a few positions, as it looks like some of the front runners are now pitting as well. Glenn Boyd has stayed out. Looks like Loshi has stayed out as well. Down in Group B, Lam Nugent has now jumped to the lead. Lam hasn't pitted as yet. Aston. Looks like Henry is the first of our boys that has pitted, currently down in 4th. Just under 2 seconds up on Jack Boyd, who is hunting him down. Matt Petrusek is currently in 6th, but 3rd of those that have pitted. So it's all going to depend on Glenn Boyd and Loshi and Ben Singer as to when they pit. And just as we say that, both Boydie and Loshi are into the pits. Like Ben is now also into the pits. So lap 6, they'd be running very tight on fuel now. Go back and find Henry just coming through the last couple of turns. It depends on how quickly Loshi and Glenn Boyd can get their pit stops done to where they... So Glenn's at pit exit, Loshi's at pit exit. Glenn is so close. He's got the line. So he's managed to come out in front of Henry. They didn't need tyres, so hopefully there's enough warmth still in those tyres of Glenn's to be able to hold on. The front 3 now have closed right up. It's about 3 seconds back to Matt Petrusek, who's now ahead of Loshi after the pit stops, and then Neville Mell is in behind Loshi. So we've got 2 groups of 3 and it's closed right up. Meanwhile, back in Group B, looks like Matt Tesoriero has grabbed the lead over Darren Linus by under a second. Darren's got his teammate Dean Logsdale directly behind him, so that's closed right up. Nugent now is around about 2 seconds further back after his pit stop, and in Group C, John Thorne has now jumped to the front, nearly a second ahead of Dave Gogol. Phil Paradiso has now dropped back to third after the pit stops. Let's have a look and see how the field is. So there we can see the whole field is as it currently stands. So the first 9 places overall filled by the Group A boys. Then we got Matt Tesserero down in 10th, Darren Linus 11th, Chris Blanchard, John Thorne the first of our Group C boys in 16th. So it looks got a couple of the Group B boys down the bottom. Obviously Cam had some issues. It's also telling me that Dean Logsdale, who was running really close to Darren Watts, similar to what we saw earlier, to try to get in underneath that that corner, seems to be catching a few boys out tonight. Go back live. Go back to our groups. Still Glenn Boyd out in front. He's managing to hold off Henry at the moment. On lap 7, 3 to go. Looking at the time, we should be able to get all 10 laps in. It's across the line. Lee Harrison was actually the quickest across the line of 2-1 that time round. Most of the top 6 of the Group A boys are all in the 52s now. Like lost a couple of runners. Cam's just sent a message to everyone apologizing. Hardware froze just as the lights went out. That's never a good feeling. You have absolutely no idea what's happening. Can't see it. Meanwhile, out the front, and still managing to hold off Henry. Oh, no, sorry, it's Jack now that's moved up into second spot. This will be interesting. Will the young charger manage to get past the older, wiser head? And hold him off for essentially 2 laps now. It's a bit of a tough ask. Expecting to be able to hold young Jack off. Meanwhile, Matt Tesserero is coming under increasing pressure now from Darren Linus back in Group B. Chris Blanchard's dropped about 3 seconds behind this pair now. See him in the background there. He's got Lam Nugent closing on him very quickly. And down in Group C, it would appear that Dave Gogol has hit some big ground on John Thorne. There they are. And Phil Paradiso has also joined in. So it's like this might go down to the wire as well. So we've got some close competition in all three classes, as I think Phil might have just got it a little bit wrong there. He's just dropped ever so slightly off the back. But it's on in all three classes, as Glenn still manages to hold off Jack back at the front. They come through to commence their last lap very shortly. White flag is out. Jack has to get up the inside. Ben closes the door. Petrusek still holds down that third spot, but that's another battle looming in the background. Oh, Henry Fenson's dropped out of it. I don't know what's happened to Henry. Haven't had any indication that Henry must have lost that all on his own. And there's definitely no notification, so I'm not sure what happened to Henry there. Oh, it looks like Jack's thinking about trying to make the move. Oh, this is the corner. This is the hairpin where we've seen a few incidents already tonight, but Jack managed to back out of that one just in time. They comes through to last couple of corners. Looks like Glenn may just hold on to this one. And he does. So, win for Glenn Boyd over Jack Boyd, Matt Petrusek, Wayne Losh, Henry Fenson, Neville Mell, Lee Harrison. Back in Group B, it looks like it might be Darren Linus just over Matt Tesserero. Chris Blanchard will get it home in third. Meanwhile, back in Group C, just waiting for him to... Oh, how close was that? John Thorne manages just to hold on by 2/10 over Dave Gogol. Phil Paradiso really, and Phil sets the quickest time in Group C on that last lap as well. So well done to everybody. That was a cracking race in all three groups. Boys will be straight back in for race 2. Just wait for a couple of the boys to finish off.
Well, boys and girls, that was quite good. A few little silly mistakes, but he came out with to come back after his little incident on the start line. But yeah, same again in this race. 2.
All right, gridding up for race 2. There's no inversion for these races, so they will grid up where they finished at race 1. Waiting on the last couple of boys to grid up. Light should be on very, very shortly. The lights are on. Glenn gets the jump away again. Oshie looks like he's got a really good start. He's down the inside, but pulls out of that. Meanwhile, Jack and Matt side by side. Looks like Matt has now jumped up into second. Bill makes its way through the first couple of turns. We got a crasher further back, like Scotty Baker has come undone off the start line. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. Managed to get it rotated and going again as Glenn Boyd currently leads the field. Jack's managed to get back through into that second spot, hunting down the old man again. Meanwhile, Matt Tesserero has jumped to the lead in Group B, and John Thorne currently leading our Group C. Like Loshie's coming under a bit of pressure there from young Henry. Henry gets the pass done. Loshie leaves the door open. The trick tonight is to just stay with the front group and can still make up a bit of time in the pit stops. That was pretty obvious from race 1, so you get a good pit stop. That's part of the strategy tonight. Go back and have a look at the group C boys. Jump on board. This is Chris Blanchard we're on board with, currently third. But his teammate, that's Mac McMillan, behind him there. Oh, Lamb runs it a little bit wide. Bit of action going on here. This is Neville and Lee. Whoa, whoa. Bit of a chat on the radio there. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, it looks like Loshi, while we were playing with the cameras, it looks like Loshi has gone off track here somewhere. Oh, he's been balked a little bit by the Lee manoeuvre. Meanwhile, back out the front, it's still Glenn Boyd leading as Neville Mel jumps in the pits. Lap 4. Oh, still Glenn. Jack's going to try going around the outside. Don't know that Glenn's going to allow that. No, closes the door down. That's Glenn over Jack. Henry's now jumped in. Henry's trying to find a way. Oh, moves up the inside of Jack. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Jack holds on. While Loshi's recovered from that slight off. Looks like John Thorne has pitted in down in Group C to put Michael Power currently in the lead of Group C. Michael in the McLaren. So it's Michael and Glenn Hill. Yeah, Glenn's in the BMW. Currently holding down second in Group C. As moves aside, lets Neville Mel get through. Of a traffic jam here for the boys. A mixture of Group A and Group B and Group C boys there. Glenn's doing the right thing and letting everybody get through. Always difficult on the corners to try and get that move done, but then did the right thing there and stayed off the racing line as he now heads into the pits. So meanwhile, back at the front, Glenn still hasn't pitted. It's followed by Henry Lee Harrison now up into third. Loshi's still fourth. Ben Singer's in fifth. These boys obviously haven't pitted yet. So first of our guys to pit will be Jack, currently down in sixth. While Matt McMillan is the only one that hasn't pitted in Group B and currently leads, currently sixth outright. Matt would think that he'll probably be pitting on this next lap, would be my guess. Go back behind Jack as the rest of the boys have all now jumped into the pits. Will any of them get out before... Oh, they're all at pit exit. The Henry has jumped Glenn, who manages to hold on to second at this stage, just ahead of Jack. I'm not sure, but I would, if I had to guess, I would say Loshi may have picked up a pit lane penalty there because he's still in the pits. Just leaving now. Guessing that he may have got a speeding in pit lane penalty. As Henry now leads. Glenn in second. Jack currently third. Meanwhile, down in Group B, it's Matt Tesserero from Chris Blanchard. They've got that squeeze now. I reckon that might be Lee. It's behind, it is Lee in behind Matt, and then Keithy Logan. So Matt moves aside to let Lee get through. Keithy Logan tucked in behind. Chris Blanchard and Darren Linus are not far behind. Trying to navigate the faster cars is always difficult, though it looks like Keithy has dropped a bit behind. I know he's still there. Matt tries to stick with Lee now, get a bit of a tow. Sometimes if you can get behind these faster guys and follow their lines, you can make up some really good time. Somebody ran a little bit wide through that corner. Looks like Darren Linus is putting a lot of pressure on Chris Blanchard for that second spot, which is definitely going to be helping Matt out front, as he's now got a gap of just over a second back to these two boys fighting it out, which is also encouraging Lam Nugent to get involved. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Jack has got through now on Glenn and will be chasing down Henry. Only half a second between Henry and Jack at this stage, as we're on lap 7. To roll over to lap 8. There'll be 3 laps to go. They crossed the stripe. Jack was around about 2.5 tenths quicker that lap. Well, Glenn was somewhat slower that lap. Meanwhile, back in Group B, it looks like we've had a change as Chris goes up the inside of Matt. Matt's trying to hold on around the outside. He'll need to tuck it back in. He's got Darren on looking around the outside as well. This is a really tight battle, not only at the front, but for the Group B boys as well, who are also within the top 10. Chris Blanchard is currently 9th outright, so doing a fantastic job. Managed to get about a 6/10 gap now over Matt, but obviously the tow down the long front straight close that back up again, as we saw on the last lap. Very up and down this track. It's certainly fairly unique in regards to racing the GT4s. Got a little bit of everything. Now can Matt close the gap again through this last complex of corners before they get on? Oh, Matt's run it really wide. That's probably opened the door. He's kept his foot in it. Is that compromised? Aaron's in the tow. Meanwhile, it looks like his teammate Dean has now got ahead of Lamb. Meanwhile, Roy Rigg is joined into the party. He's in a sandwich. He's just tucked in behind Lamb. He's got Matt McMillan directly behind him. And that's Paul Pittam. Group B boys are certainly very close together tonight. As we jump back up the front on lap 9. So Jack is still all over the back of Henry. Glenn's not out of this yet either. He's managed to hang on to the back of these two boys. Waiting for someone to make a mistake. Then takes a different line into this last complex of corners as they're about to start their final lap. Meanwhile, down in Group C, John Thorne has got around about a just over a 6-second lead over Dave Gogol and Phil Paradiso. So looks like barring any mistakes, John should have that one well and truly sealed up. And Henry hold Jack out for this final lap. Guarantee that Jack will be putting pressure on him the entire time. Oh, Jack gets up the inside. It's a bit squirmy out of the corner. Glenn's now closed right up onto the back of him as well. Giving Henry a little bit of a break. Henry's managed to open that gap out now to about half a second, so Jack's going to have his work cut out for him. Come through the hairpin. Oh, Glenn is still in this. They make their way through the last corner. Checkered flag is out. Henry will grab race 2 from Jack and Glenn. Meanwhile, it looks like Chris Blanchard is going to hold on for the Group B win over Darren Linus, who got up to second, followed by Matt Tesserero. It's a really tight finish with the Group B boys there. John Thorne does take out the win in Group C over Dave Gogol. Bill Paradiso should get home, does get home for third. That was a cracking race, especially there in the Group B. The boys certainly turned it on.
Well played, home. Well played. Another good race.
For that race 2, they've got a short break now, of a warm up before race 3. So might take this opportunity to take a short break ourselves, and we will be back very shortly. All right, welcome back. We're just about ready to get underway for race 3 very shortly. Waiting on everyone to grid up.
Have a think about it, all your overtakes. Like a few boys are just shoving it in there and upsetting a few other boys. Like you got to think about your move. Once we finish, take
Got
and then
our race director, Mr. Cobra Connors. Last minute instructions before we get underway for the final race tonight. Been some cracking races so far. Hoping race 3 delivers the same. Waiting on the last couple of cars to grid up. About 5 seconds to go. The lights on very shortly. Revs are rising. Lights are on. Oh, looks like Henry's got the jump. Well, he might have bogged down that second part of that start. It's given Glenn the opportunity to try and sweep around the outside, which I think he's going to do. Porsches really get off the line so much better than the other cars. The new launch control from iRacing as Jack slips through on Henry to grab that second spot. Henry thinks about trying to get it straight back again, but he'll slide in behind Jack for the time being. It's like well, we've had a couple of crashes off the start. Go back and have a look and see what happened. It's a couple of our Group B boys. It looks like Matt McMillan, but caught up. Oh, that's massive. That is massive. Taken out about 4 of our front runners as there was a bit more contact there as the boys try to untangle themselves. Jump back live. See Glenn still got a bit of a gap now, nearly a second out on young Jack. So still got Henry and Neville Melt tucked in behind. Like Matt Tesserero leading our Group B boys at the moment. Got Chris Blanchard tucked in behind him as Keithy Logan dumps into the pits. Cam Edwards, who had some technical issues in race 1, like he's back up and running. There's Cam tucked in behind Roy Rigg and Andrew Cash at this stage. While John Thorne has grabbed the lead in Group C. Got Phil Paradiso tucked in behind him. And there's Dave Gogol as well. So it looks like those 3 boys are back into it again early. Got about a half a second lead now over Phil. Ben Singer is currently down in 6th spot. He's got Matt Petrusek directly behind him. Lee Harrison just ahead. And it's Matt Tesserero and Chris Blanchard, Group B boys. Andrew Cash Looks like he's jumped up into third after that first lap bingle. So the boys have done their early pit stops. As Matt Tesserero sets the fastest lap there. And Phil Paradiso has jumped ahead of John Thorne with the fastest lap in Group C. John looks to fly back. Dave Gogol's in there as well. Oh, Phil's lost it. Just got on the gas that little bit early and he's rotated. Manages to avoid any contact. Was unlucky, but it looks like that's actually given Dave Gogol the opportunity to get ahead. John's looking for a way through. So Ash Stacey in the Stacey surveying Aston Martin. Having a better run this time round. Everybody sort of, it's like we've got quite a few have jumped into the pits this time round, get their pit stops out of the way. Scotty Baker's just made his way past on John Thorne. Group B and Group C runners. We head back up the front and it's still Glenn Boyd still leading over young Jack Henry. Young Henry still in third. Neville Mell is tucked up in there in fourth, as it looks like Jack's gone for a different strategy this time round and has hit it on lap 5. Not much in the lap times at all. Lee Harrison's also jumped into the pits, so Matt Petrozak has actually pitted. Currently down in 7th. A little bit to play out yet, was these front few haven't done their pit stops. Like Loshi pitted on lap 1. Should gain a few spots as more boys jump into the pits now. The fuel gets really light. Still Glenn, about half a second now over Henry, with Neville Mel back in third. Ben Singer currently in fourth. Jack's done his pit stop. He's about 35 and a half seconds behind. So it'll be touch and go again once these boys pit. Depends on Jack's outlap whether he can get some of that time back. While Andrew Cash now leads our Group B boys. Got Paul Pittham directly in behind him. Neither one of these guys have pitted. I think they're probably due to hit this time around. Both head into the pits. And it's a drag to the to the line. Hope neither one of them, as our front three boys have now into the pits as well. Hopefully neither one of those got a pit lane and speeding infringement, as we jump back with Jack, who's got nearly a 3-second gap back to Lee. So the other boys are now leaving the pits. They all filter out. Looks like Glenn Boyd has actually maintained the lead. It's very tight. There is next to nothing between these three boys again. Jump on board with Henry. Just Henry's in a Boyd sandwich. So looking back at Jack, trying to find a way through. Oh, closes right up on the back. Can't quite get the run. Make the run down the hill. Well, so Glenn up ahead. So many different lines through these corners. Big Merc gets the power down along this long front straight. Meanwhile, back in Group B, it looks like Chris Blanchard has come out in front after all the pit stops. It's about nearly 3 seconds up on Matt Tesoriero this time around. He's got Paul Pittham and Roy Rigg tucked in there. It's Loshy squeezed in between them. Had a chat to Loshy in the break, who said he's not talking about the fact that he may or may not have got a pit lane penalty in that race too. Oh, bit of contact there. As Loshy looks to go up the inside. That puts Paul up into second. In Group B. Meanwhile, John Thorne has got a nearly an 8-second lead back in Group C. Might have to look at a bit of oh, I think there's a bit of contact there. I think Loshie's trying to tell Paul that it's to try and let him through somehow. I sort of think that might have been a little bit of a message there that as the league rules are, he could have lifted off a little bit on the straight there and just let Loshie through. No point in trying to hold up the quicker boys. Not quite sure how we can get people more educated than what we've tried, but yeah, unfortunately, some of the boys are still finding it difficult to lift off the gas and let the quicker boys back through. But never mind, it's a learning curve, as Glenn Boyd now has managed to get out to nearly a second over Jack. Henry still holds down that third spot, although he's dropped off a little bit now off the back of Jack as well. Wonder if Henry's tried to conserve a bit of fuel in the pit stop and is now having to fuel save. Lee Harrison's currently fourth. He's got Neville Mill in behind him. And it's Ben Singer and Matt Petrusek having a battle for, what's that, 6th and 7th in Group A. And Chris Blanchard now has about a 4-second lead over Matt Tesserero. There's Keithy Logan in the McLaren, Southern Cross McLaren. Got Loshie trying to close down that gap. Then it's Matt Tesserero and Paul Pittam. They got Roy Rigg in behind them. A battle for Group B for the minor placings. Then it's Andrew Cash and Scotty Baker. Currently 5th and 6th in Group B. Darren Linus after that earlier crash is just up on Ash Stacey, just coming through now. And then there's Matt McMillan, who's got Dean Logsdale fairly close for company. Dean Logsdale. Well, this is Lucas Baker in the Southern Cross Aston as we're on lap 10. Let's go back and find our leaders. As it looks like Jack's putting a bit of heat on Glenn on this last lap. Looks to try and get that outside move done. Just didn't work in the earlier race and didn't work that time either. Ben's driven really well tonight in the Porsche. I think Jack is I think Jack's pretty keen to get make it 2 out of 3 tonight. I think he's got it done. No. Oh, these boys racing this. Same room. I can imagine what's going on at the moment. Glenn will be telling him to get out the way. Oh, bit of a nudge. I think Jack's got it though. He's got the inside run. I think Jack's got this one. It's sort of invited Henry back in as well. They approach the finish line. Who's it going to be? Oh! That's the closest finish we have had for quite some time. Wow. So it was Jack over Glenn from Henry. Neville makes it home in fourth spot. Meanwhile, Chris Blanchard takes out Group B over Paul Pittam. Matt Tesserero gets home in third. And in Group C, it's going to be John Thorne with a convincing win over Phil Paradiso. It looks like Lucas Baker is going to bring it home for third. So Phil crosses the line now. There's Lucas home in third in Group C, which is a great effort. All right, we should have some official results up very shortly, and we will also head across and do some driver interviews very shortly. Oh, got a few of the boys. Bring them in and have a bit of a chat. Hey boys, I might start off with that finish in Group A. That was some sort of finish. Jack, you managed to get it home, but by the barest of margins.
Yeah, look, I was sort of struggling tonight, so yeah, it was good to get a win on the old man in the last one. Yeah, it was just a really good night of racing, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not too sure why I was struggling compared to normal, but on the flip side of that, I think that was probably some of the best racing we've had all season. So, yeah, overall, really fun night.
Yeah, no, it was certainly great to watch. And Glenn Boyd, I thought you might have kept the door closed, but not quite able to in that last race.
No, I like to create a bit of a spectacle and make sure everyone has a fair opportunity, but obviously at times I give Jack a bit too much room, and where I should have just blocked the shit out of him. Well, I didn't, but unfortunately, no, actually, as Jack said, it was a great night of racing. I'll try and, keep it on the straight and narrow, but yeah, the last race, the tyres, once you did the pit stop, just didn't quite feel the same as what I had on, and kept overrunning a little bit. But no, there was a great race, and yeah, congrats to Jack for the win. Henry always mixes it up and gives us a good show, so yeah, it was good.
Yeah, Henry, that what was it like from watching the two go at it in front of you?
It's great when they battle because it helps you catch up, but it's really hard to pass them. They're quick and they know how to set themselves up, so it makes it really difficult. But it was nice to get one up in the second race after I made a fool of myself in the first one.
And Chris Blanchard's joined us. Chris, well done tonight. That was a good night for you. Some handy points there in Group B.
Yeah, it was good. It thoroughly enjoyed the racing. I actually enjoy this track. It's sort of doesn't matter what car I'm in. It's a good track to race on.
Yeah, no, you had some really good battles there. I think the second race was fairly close as well. The Group B boys turned it on just as well as the Group A guys tonight. So congratulations. I think you grabbed a couple of wins there tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I got two after I was sorted out the fuel after the first race, the undercut really seemed to work. I undercut by 1 lap in the middle race, and then undercut by 2 laps in the third race. Sorry, and it seemed to work really well. You sort of gained a bit of time running free, and then come out in front of the people that were around you before.
Yeah, no, it looked like the change in strategy certainly worked. But yeah, as I said, there were some really good battles there in Group B. And John Thorne, Group C winner. Didn't quite get it all your own way all night, John. I think that race 1 was probably a bit close.
Yeah, and race 2, to be honest. And I definitely thought race 3 I was going to be in it for again. Yeah, love racing Phil Paradiso and Dave. Definitely both of them hustling tonight, that's for sure.
And while you're here, John, anyone you want to say thanks to?
Yeah, look, the Southern Cross Racing team, Penride Oil. Yeah, thanks. And also the admin team and the 2 guys hustling me tonight. I tell you what, in race 2, I was sweating, especially in 50-degree heat.
And Chris, anyone you want to thank?
Oh, look, I'm not too good at this at thanking the team sponsors, but obviously our team, WKMP Sim Sports, and Matty McMillan for putting the feelers out within our team to get both me and Michael Power interested in doing this. Which is normally we race the V8s in another league, and to come over this is something that both me and Mick are really enjoying.
Yeah, no, it's Matt reached out a while back and asked if it was okay to approach you guys, and we really appreciate the fact that both you and Mick Power have jumped in this season. It's been great to have you guys on board, and as we saw tonight, the racing's always really good. You guys turn it on for us in Group B, so much appreciated there. And Henry, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I'll thank Stockman's BBD and Flux3D.com, and thanks to Glenn and Jack for an awesome night of racing.
And Glenn, anyone?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Henry for a good racing tonight. The rest of the guys who race, it's really good to see a good grid tonight. This track's not that easy, so it was a good turnout of people. Thanks to Jack for the continual pressure throughout my life, and big shout out to number 1 Fran and all the family watching. So and also the broadcast guy, he's not too bad either. Cheers, boys.
Thanks, Glenn. And Jack, finally, anyone you need to thank?
Yeah, much the same. Just a big shout out to the usual crew for the clean racing. It's I think we've just got a really great group of guys right now, and yeah, every week it's clean, a little bit of rubbing, but yeah, there's nothing in that. So yeah, we'll do it all again next week. Thanks, boys.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we might wind it up, and we'll look forward to seeing all you boys back out on track again next Monday night for our round 6. Yep, 7 o'clock Adelaide time next Monday night. We'll get to do it all again. So until then, stay safe, and thanks, guys.
No worries, thanks.
Cheers.
Thanks, Greg.